Good morning. Good morning. How the heck are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Well, I'm glad everyone's doing okay. My name is Charlie Destries, and my pronouns are he and him. You know, real quick background on me. I came here about 2.5 years ago, and I know you've heard me say this, but I had no idea I needed this. And you guys are pretty much a big part of my life right now, and will continue to be, because if you're new here, you'll experience something pretty special. So I welcome each of you, seekers of connection. Thank you. Beauty, clarity, and the myriad other gifts that can be found in gatherings such as ours. We are so glad that each one of you is here today. If you are a newcomer, we hope you keep coming back and make your spiritual home with us. For those who have already made UU Amherst your home, we hope you'll continue to challenge yourself to grow and to help us live our aspirations of this beloved community. Today's service is really special in that we enact each one of the most sacred rites of our tradition, the flower communion. It is uniquely Unitarian Universalist rite as we honor the past and look forward to the future, even as we hold precious the present moment. Children and youth will be invited to leave for the Time for All Ages, following the Time for All Ages, to have some multi-age fun and values building, and return in time to participate in the flower communion ceremony. For those gathered in the chapel, I urge you to shut off your phone. There are several hundred people that are watching this on Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is shared, so the more you can shut off your phone, go to airplane mode, the easier it'll be for folks who are watching this to really have no problem watching. So that would be terrific if you could shut off your phone at this point. If you need a little extra hearing support, we have assisted hearing devices at the usher's station at the back of the chapel. Feel free to borrow one for the service.
I offer my greetings to those gathered in this space and also those who are gathered online. I'm Reverend Michelle Buhite, the minister of this congregation. My pronouns, which I offer to create a truly inclusive and brave space for all to live into the fullness of our identities, are she and her. Today is Father's Day, and it's another one of those days that can really be filled with emotion. I offer you this Father's Day meditation by Rod Richards. On this Father's Day, we recognize the vast spectrum of experience and the often complicated feelings that surround such a celebration. We honor those fathers and father figures in our lives who have loved, supported, encouraged, and instructed us, and we seek to share these gifts with others. We mourn with those who mourn the loss of a father, and fathers who mourn the loss of a child, whether separated by death or estrangement. We support those for whom this day brings pain and sorrow, who suffered abandonment, neglect, or abuse. We support and celebrate the fathers in our midst who give of themselves to their children, recognizing all the strength and wisdom and stamina and love and time and honest introspection that fatherhood requires. We support those men who choose not to have children, yet who are present in loving and supportive ways to children, youth, and adults alike. And we seek to honor wherever we find ourselves today across this vast spectrum that embraces us within this silence.
Happy Father's Day as well to everybody out there. And I always say that moms and dads, kids, we all do the mom stuff and the dad stuff, whoever we are. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So happy Father's Day. Our gathering music today can be found in the Teal hymnal, number 1000. That's pretty easy to remember. Morning has come. I invite you to rise in body or spirit, whatever you got, so that we can sing together. Unitarian Universalists are covenantal, not creedal. I've never said those two words before, so it's really good to say. That means that we are unlikely to believe the same things, but we're willing to make sacred promises of accountability to one another and to our shared vision of an earth more fair with all her people one. This morning we enter into covenant with the land upon which our church is built and whose wild spaces we enjoy. It is an aspect of our faith to respect the interdependent web of all existence and to honor spiritual teachings of earth-centered traditions which celebrate the sacred circle of life and instruct us to live in harmony with nature. Thank you, Karen, for helping us. We offer a libation with water. As sacred as the land it is meant to bless. We may not be able to heal harm done to generations of people who lived in rhythm with the land and its cycles, but we can make a beginning. May we have the courage and the heart to make that beginning today. If what we just did was to create a covenant, a sacred promise with the land beneath our feet and with the people whose ancestors lived in balance with it, then the weekly lighting of the chalice is a reformation of our covenant with this faith and those whose lives have brought us to this place, as well as all those who will carry out our light forward, making it their own and letting it shine. May we speak our chalice lighting words as a promise, as much as an affirmation. You are invited to join with me as you will. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, and celebration of the life we share together.
And only now, having covenanted with land and people and a faith tradition, are we ready to extend our sacred promise to one another? I invite you to share these words with me. Together we promise to gather in compassionate community, to celebrate diversity of thought and unity of spirit, and to seek wholeness for ourselves, our children, and our world. Each week, I stand here and I invite you to bring your whole selves into this space, a space that is made sacred by our presence together. And when I invite you to come forward, I'm really asking you to take a leap of faith that those gathered here and those whose presence we experience but who may not be present, that all of that can hold whatever it is you bring. Whatever joy, concern, or sorrow. The world is a complicated place. And you can rest in this place and bring all that you are. So as the music plays, I invite you to come forward and to place a stone or a shell on the table labyrinth. We also have a smaller labyrinth at the back by the candle table. Also, this is a time if you have brought flowers and haven't had an opportunity yet to bring them forward, you can do all of that. So it's going to be very messy, but that is the beauty of community, right? That we can make space for all of it. There will be children dodging between your legs, potentially. So just watch where you're going, and we'll all watch out for one another. Come forward as you will. I place a final stone in recognition of the joys, concerns, and sorrows that are held by our wider community, those who join us online. Know that you are held here as well. And we expand our circle to let in not only all the things that we are feeling and experiencing, but all those whose presence we feel. Maybe you're bringing a loved one in your heart. We make space for that. And we extend our circle of concern to those who are experiencing illness and loss, those who are feeling overwhelmed and afraid, and those who are feeling courageous and ready. We contain all of that, and we hold all of that. May we remember that we are called to bring healing and wholeness to the broken places and to celebrate the healing and wholeness that we can be a part of. Amen and blessed be. So get a load of these flowers, huh? Well done, y'all. Beautiful, so beautiful. So now that we finally have all of the children back there, now I'm going to do everything and say, hey kids, come on down. Oh dear, now you're scaring me. Now, wow. Yep, I'm doing swell. You're gonna have to give me a tiny bit of leg room here. That's beautiful, I love that color. Is it for me? Oh my goodness. Oh, I got artwork. Thank you, Quinn. Well, you know what? I'm going to put it in the box. How about that? Can I have a little bit of space? So the thing is, so this time the Wonder Box is just a lure to bring you here. Okay? Although it does have something in it that relates to what we're doing today. But you know, it's kind of a letdown when you've seen all these gorgeous, gorgeous flowers to have me bring out just a couple of silk white roses. Yep, boom-ba-dum. But you know what? You'll see these again next year, so you know. So I want to share with you one of my favorite stories, and it only has 2 pictures, and they're going to be up on the screens up front. Okay? So this is, I'm going to do something before I do that. Ha ha ha. Where are we? Kyla, where have I just lost my ability to see? There we go. I'm like, Kyla, come on down before we get, because I don't know if y'all have met Kyla. She's a new friend, right? We are very excited to welcome Kyla, our new hire for the Faith Development Youth Program. And I haven't even told you how great she is. But this is a momentous time for UU Amherst. It has been a long time since we have had enough tweens and teens to even consider having a youth program. So, yay, families, for bringing your teens and tweens, right? So, Kyla brings a strong background. Ooh, I have a picture of her. There we go. I warned her that I went stalking on her Facebook to get the picture with flowers. That would be a little alarming. Where did you find that? She has a strong background in mental health, group facilitation, and trauma-informed care, along with a deep personal commitment to working with young people. She is currently a vocational specialist at the Dale Association and is pursuing a career in adolescent mental health. Kyla will begin working with our youth next Sunday. Next Sunday, families. So, we are doing a brand new beta test curriculum called Deeper Joy. And so we really do need to have our youth come and participate. So if you have a middle and high school youth in your home, in your neighborhood, wherever you can bring them in to be part of things. Make them roll out of bed because there will be donuts. So there you go. Thanks, Kyla. Yay. Isn't it fun to applaud? Woo! It's such an energetic day. So this story that I'm about to tell you is called The Other Side of the Wall. And if you've been here before, you might think, I feel like I've heard this story. Yes, people who are older than the people sitting on the floor, yes, you probably have if you've been here for a Flower Communion Sunday. But it's because it's so excellent. So this is not a wall near me, but when I show you the next picture, it will be the wall in my backyard. So there was a young woman who took great pride in the growth and care of the flowers in her flower garden. She had been raised by her grandmother, who taught her to love and to care for flowers, as she herself had done for so many years. And so, like her grandmother, her flower garden was second to none. One day, while looking through a flower catalog she often ordered from, a picture of a plant immediately caught her eye. She had never seen blooms on a flower like that before. I have to have it, she said to herself, and she immediately ordered it. When it arrived, she already had a nice shady place prepared to plant it. She planted it at the base of a stone wall at the back of her yard. It grew vigorously with beautiful green leaves all over it. But there were no blooms, no flowers. But that was why she got the plant. She liked the flowers. There were none. It was very lush, very green, but no flowers. One morning, a couple weeks later, her next door neighbor, the wall was between their two houses, called over to her, waved her over. Oh, thank you so much. You can't imagine how much I have enjoyed these beautiful flowers, these blooms on that vine that you planted. So the woman walked through the gate over to the other side, and sure enough, she saw that on the other side of the wall, the vine was filled with blooms. And they were the most beautiful blooms she'd ever seen. Now on the picture, the flowers are on our side of the fence, and our neighbors have the lilac tree that makes the beautiful flowers that like to be over on our side of the fence. But, we like them, so they can come over anytime and look at them. So sometimes, here's the big lesson of the story. Sometimes you put a lot of work into something, you work really hard at it. Has anyone ever worked really hard at something? Yeah, I know. People work really hard on things. And sometimes there's nothing to see for it. Like, what was all this work about? But sometimes later, and sometimes looking at someone else whose life you have helped to touch, that's where the magic happened. That's where everything's blooming. And that's the kind of things that we like to teach is the wrong word, like to bring to you when you go to your activities in faith development, which happens to be right now. Let's sing them out. This is your song. Go. Okay, so I'm going to share a poem with you, another thing that I adore, poetry, especially Mary Oliver's poetry. Yum. And I have heard this flower type pronounced in different ways. I've heard it pronounced as peony. and peony, and facetiously peony. So of A, B, and C, which is it? Okay, it's equal parts A and B. Perfect. So we're going to call them peonies because then we can all agree. I'm going to try really hard not to call it peonies. This morning, the green fists of the peonies are getting ready to break my heart as the sun rises, as the sun strokes them with his old buttery fingers, and they open. Pools of lace, white and pink, and all day the black ants climb over them, boring their deep and mysterious holes into the curls, craving the sweet sap, taking it away to their dark underground cities. And all day, under the shifty wind, as in a dance, to the great wedding, the flowers bend their bright bodies and tip their fragrance to the air and rise their red stems holding all that dampness and recklessness gladly and lightly. And there it is again. Beauty, the brave, the exemplary, blazing open. Do you love this world? Do you cherish your humble and silky life? Do you adore the green grass with its terror beneath? Do you also hurry, half-dressed and barefoot, into the garden and softly, and exclaiming of their dearness, fill your arms with the white and pink flowers, with their honeyed heaviness, their lush trembling, their eagerness to be wild and perfect for a moment before they are nothing forever.
Today is a special day in our church year. The Unitarian Universalist Flower Communion Service, which we celebrate this day, originated in 1923 by Dr. Norbert Capek, founder of the modern Unitarian movement in what is now known as the Czech Republic. For some time, Dr. Capek felt the need for some symbolic ritual that would bind his congregation more closely together, and he turned to the native beauty of the countryside for elements of a communion which would be genuine to the diverse people of his congregation. The flower ceremony was brought here to the U.S. in 1940 and introduced to the members of our Cambridge, Massachusetts church by Dr. Capek's wife, Maya Capek. The Czech-born Maya had met Norbert in New York City while he was studying for his PhD, and it was at her urging that Norbert left the Baptist ministry and turned to Unitarianism. The Capeks returned to Czechoslovakia in 1921 and established the dynamic liberal church in Prague, which was fondly called Unitaria. Maya Capek was ordained in 1926. This is such an interesting story, by the way. Norbert and Maya preached the life-affirming message of what was then simply Unitarianism, even as the world around them was swallowed up by the rise of fascism. In 1939, knowing that it may be well their final parting, Maya left Prague to sail to the United States to gain support for the Czech churches from American Unitarians. It was during her tour of the United States that Maya introduced the flower ceremony, which was adopted by many, many churches. Unfortunately, Maya was unable to return to Prague due to the outbreak of World War II. Not until the war was over that Norbert Capek's death in a Nazi concentration camp was revealed. From this beginning, the service had spread to many of our Unitarian Universalist congregations and has been adapted along the way.
At that first service in Prague, people were asked to bring a flower of their choice, either from their own gardens or from the field or roadside. When they arrived at church, each person was asked to place their own flower in a vase, signifying that it was by their own free will that they joined with the others. The vase that contained all the flowers was a symbol of the United Church Fellowship. Later, they were asked to choose a flower other than the one they had brought. The significance of the flower communion is that as no two flowers are alike, so no two people are alike, yet each has a contribution to make. Together, the different flowers form a beautiful bouquet. Our common bouquet would not be the same without the unique addition of each individual flower. And thus it is with our church community. It would not be the same without each and every one of us. Thus, this service is a statement of our community.
Beginning in 1923, the people of the Unitarian congregation in Prague, all the children and adults, participated in this colorful, beautiful ritual, which gives concrete expression to the humanity affirming principles of our liberal faith. When the Nazis took control of Prague in 1940, they found Dr. CHA-pek's gospel of the inherent worth and beauty of every person to be, as Nazi court records show, too dangerous to the Reich for him to be allowed to live. At the age of 70, Dr. CHA-pek was sent to Dachau to endure nearly a year of hard labor and the constant threat of starvation. Like many who proved to be too weak to continue working, Dr. CHA-pek was loaded onto the invalid transport and sent to the gas chamber. This gentle man suffered a cruel death, but his message of human hope and decency lives on through this flower communion, which is widely celebrated today. It is a noble and meaning-filled ritual we are about to recreate. This service includes original prayers and songs written by Dr. CHA-pek to help us remember the principles and dreams. Sorry, I lost my place. Let's see now. To help us remember the principles and dreams for which he died. Michelle.
So this homily was written and shared by a mentor and minister that I respect very highly, Reverend David E. Bumbaugh. I offer this short homily at every flower communion because the spirit and words of it bring me joy, which in turn I love to share with you. Whether this is your first hearing or your 10th, let the message find its way to your heart. And before I read it, some of you are near windows. Feel free to open them. It's a little close. Now would be fun. Okay. Have you considered the flowers, the lilies of the fields? They spin not, neither do they sow, yet Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed as one of these. Say what you will about the economy of life, the serious nature of evolution. Flowers are irrefutable proof of nature's extravagance. Everywhere you look, in every nook and cranny, during this season of life, the flowers are there. Spilling down a bank from a shopping mall to a parking lot, buttercups display a shower of gold. They display it for drivers who speed by too quickly to grasp the glory poured out freely for all to see. Along forest paths in dark and shaded lanes where few people ever walk, under tall trees, purple and white flowers on tall stalks proclaim the glory of life. In vacant fields where not even a worn path exists to suggest human passage, white daisies mimic the sun high in the sky, creating on earth a semblance of heaven's glory. In well-tended yards, tiny blue flowers poke their heads above the clipped and manicured lawn to greet the day. 4 o'clocks keep time for the sun. Bindweed ties the world together. Sweet williams clump together like gangs of little boys. Periwinkle modestly covers the ground around houses and on sloping banks. Along every highway, a riot of color presents itself. Blue chicory, yellow mustard and mullein, white Queen Anne's lace, red and orange and russet flowers I cannot name. So long as the sun is strong, the flowers come and bloom for their season and are replaced by others. Crocus to daffodil to tulip, azalea to dogwood to rhododendron, lilac to peony, to iris to rose, daisy to chicory to aster to goldenrod, one after another, filling our world with a riot of color, with beauty we cannot create or earn or deserve. Flowers are strangely independent creatures. Some we have domesticated as if they were cattle or sheep. They grow only at our sufferance. They stay where we put them. In true human form, we prize them for their docility. But most flowers represent natural powers not under our control. No matter how we dig and weed and spray and curse, nothing that we can do will keep the dandelion out of the front lawn. The daisies come despite us and stake their claim in parking lots and ballparks and hidden corners. Even some of the tamed flowers occasionally burst through generations of conditioning, and a prim tulip suddenly appears, all alone, under a tree where a tulip has no business being. And a clump of irises makes a home in the forest preserve. The flowers, you see, do not bloom for us. They do not care whether or not we see them. They grow and bloom because they are full of life. Because the history of the species impels them to display their glory, not to the world, but as a part of the world. Because the world would be incomplete without the riot of blossoms, which expresses nature's voiceless joy in life. It is true that flowers are fragile. Sometimes a wildflower taken from its root by a small hot hand does not survive to reach the kitchen door. What was once a proud blossom has become a wilted shadow by the time the child presents it, a token of love to a parent. Even when left to live out its cycle, the flower is soon gone, reminding us that nature knows nothing of permanence, that our lives, like that of the flower, are part of an endless cycle of many endless cycles, but only a part. Perhaps that is why we love flowers, with a bittersweet love. We know they are a gift of grace, softening the harsh edges of reality. They invite us to seek the beauty of each moment. They encourage us to find fulfillment in life and the living of it. And they remind us that nothing is forever, that each moment with its beauty and its fulfillment passes on to another moment, with gifts to be discovered and savored. One cannot keep the moment any more than one can keep the flower. One can only rejoice and give thanks for the grace which makes this world, our home, a setting of beauty and delight, where we too may be lived by life, with nothing to gain, nothing to lose, nothing to prove. This morning, as you came to church, perhaps you brought a flower from your yard, from along the road, from a florist, from the rose bush by the driveway, from many different sources. These many different flowers have come. Here, piled together, they symbolize the extravagance of nature. For as various as these flowers are, they do not even begin to exhaust nature's inventiveness in creating forms and colors and beauty. And what nature has done for flowers, nature has done for us. We too are products of nature's extravagance. Each of us is unique, mingled together, interacting. We do not become less unique, but rather find our uniqueness heightened. Here in this place, here in this human community, we find the fuller dimensions of our individuality, the richer meaning of our existence, the profound delight of this world, and our existence in this world. Now, as we prepare to leave this place, I invite you, in a few moments, if you wish, to take one of these flowers and take a different flower from the one you brought. Take it not to keep forever and ever. Nothing is forever. Take a flower as a symbol of gratitude for blessings we did not create, of gratitude for blessings we do not deserve, of gratitude for joys which come from unexpected. Take a flower as a symbol of your participation in the community of this congregation, of your participation in the community of humankind, in your participation in the community of all living things, of your participation in the universal community. If by a chance you did not bring a flower, take one anyway. Take a flower as a symbol that beauty and grace and joy and love are not matters of reciprocity. In this world, we cannot earn or deserve that which is most important. It comes to us as a gift. Therefore, knowing how to receive is fully as important as knowing how to give. Amen. Our song in response was penned by Dr. CHA-pek. Knowing what you know of his life and ministry of love, acceptance, and wonder, his words find even greater meaning. I'll invite you to rise and bow to your spirit as we sing, and if someone in the back could please alert Faith Development, I think they're in the living room. Asher, if you'd just let them know it's time to come back. So please rise, and let's do some singing. It's number 28 in the gray hymnal, View the Starry Realm.
Into
are very brave. You may be seated.
You know, before I got a little emotional when I was reading the story of Dr. CHA-pek, and you know, I've been thinking about my father a lot these last couple of days, and he was one of the advanced troops on the way to Berlin who actually took part in basically opening up these camps to people to give them liberation. And so reading about Dr. CHA-pek to me is an example of one person out of many, many, many millions where we're celebrating his life today. We're celebrating his work, his hopes, the things that he wrote, things that he wanted us to do. And think of all the people that never got to do that. And so I thank you for tolerating me. So whenever Dr. CHA-pek conducted his flower communion in Prague, he would say a blessing as he consecrated the flowers. Let's share this blessing together. With the left side of the room, wait a minute, that's over here. The left side of the room beginning and the right side responding. So the left side, here we go.
With me. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these, thy messengers of fellowship and love.
May they remind us amid diversities of knowledge and of gifts to be one in desire and affection and devotion to thy holy will.
May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike.
May we cherish friendship as one of thy most precious gifts.
And all together, may we not let awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship. But may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do thy work in this world. Amen. It is now time for us to share in the flower communion. I have written here that I'm going to ask you to come up in quiet reverence, but that's ridiculous. Come forward, enjoy, find your flower. If you have a neighbor near you that has mobility issues, maybe you could offer to pick up a flower for them, and it will then be a double gift. So please come forward, and James will play some music. I forgot to tell James about that. Play something, James. Come forward as you will. Our time together has been a celebration of this gathered community, affirming the worth of each individual and the potential that is represented by our coming together. If the only thing that brings us together is the opportunity to catch up with friends and sing a song or two and feel good about how dedicated we are to blah, 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 well, that's all very nice. But the magic happens in really celebrating the community and that which is created. It's that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. The spirit of love that we bring is multiplied. And so we invoke. This is why it's dangerous to me to be where anything could be happening behind me when Charlie's up here. You know, Norbert Capek was put to death because the Nazis said his faith, his message was too dangerous for him to be allowed to live. Imagine having a faith that was too dangerous, too compelling, too powerful in its message of love to be allowed to spread its light in a world of darkness. The world desperately needs our message of love. And I say we are ready to claim our place in the great legacy that we have inherited and to live a love beyond belief.
Just before he was put to death in Dachau, Dr. Capek wrote this prayer, reflecting on his own life and the state of his spirit at the time. It is worthwhile to live and fight courageously for sacred ideals. Oh, blow ye evil winds into my body's fire, my soul you'll never unravel. Even though disappointed 1,000 times or fallen in the light, and everything would worthless seem, I have lived amidst eternity. Be grateful, my soul, my life was worth living. You may be seated. I'm very powerful.
That is the danger of using a script and then just making a few adjustments when you're here.
But I like it. Making time for an offering of gifts and pledges is an act of faith. An opportunity, did I miss something? I did it again? I missed a whole page.
You're fired.
Oh. Jude, come here. You're take my place.
So before we have that wonderful offering, this is an opportunity for you to think in advance. We're going to sing hymn number 6 in the gray hymnal, Just As Long As I Have Breath. And please rise and bow to your spirit so you can sit down later.
shortly. You may be seated. Thank you. Thank you, Jude. Appreciate it. As I was saying, making time for an offering of gifts and pledges is an act of faith, an opportunity for us to acknowledge the good and hardships in our lives. Not everyone has the means to give financially, while others give out of their abundance. We might make a point to give at church, or we might give in other ways. Checks in the mail, automatic bank deductions, online, etc. This congregation exists because of you, the acts of service you engage in, and your generous contributions. Every aspect of congregational life is made possible because of the generosity of members and friends, you. The offering will now be gratefully received. People will be coming around the aisles with baskets.
Hey guys, come to the front first.
And now for extinguishing the chalice. Thank you. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. As our service draws to an end, our service to the world is ready to begin. Let me tell you about some of the opportunities to connect and serve in the days to come. Usually at this point, I invite you to join us for coffee and conversation, but not today, because today is our spring into summer picnic, and all are invited to stick around and partake. The food has already been blessed by the hands that have prepared it, so you can dive right in. Many thanks to Chef Bruce, who was amazing, and all those who have contributed to the feast. And it looks like a beautiful day, so we can sit out in the patio or wherever you'd like to sit. Next week, we will be streaming the worship of General Assembly from 11 through 12:30. There'll be coffee and snacks as well as activities for the kids. As always, see the church newsletter, the forward for information regarding upcoming events and services. And now we have a special announcement from Brianna with the caring team. And Linda Joy.
Hi everyone. I have to pull this down. Sorry, I got close enough without squishing the baby. Oh. Short enough that I need the stool. Okay, here we go. All right, I just wanted to make two quick announcements before the picnic. The first is that I wanted to introduce myself as the new caring team lead here at UUCA Amherst. So my name is Brianna Migliori, if you don't already know me, otherwise known as the woman who always has a baby on her chest. So if I give you a call to reach out to you or to check on you and see how you're doing, I just wanted to make sure that you all had a face to put to the name. So if I call you and say, hi, this is Brianna, you're not worried about me, being some sort of scammer or something. Also, my phone number has a 518 area code, which can throw people off. So if I give you a call to check in on you, don't worry, it's me. Okay, and so then the other two.
Explain what caring is.
Yes. The caring team is a team full of people who will reach out to any members of the congregation who are in need in some way. So, if they've had a loss of a family member in their life or some other, crisis or illness or anything. So we reach out and we check on them and see what they need, whether it be a meal or a card or, just a friendly face to talk to. What's that? A ride. Oh, we also provide rides to and from service if you are ever in need of that. Yes, and we do, I'm not going to get to that in a minute, but we do have a way that all of you can now become more involved in the caring team as well. And if after service you'd like to know more about the caring team, you can come up and chat with me about that. So the second thing is that UU Amherst has 2 new forms that we're inviting you all to fill out for us. The first one is an emergency contact form. So this is sort of a standard emergency contact form, in case there is an emergency while you are here, you can take the appropriate actions that are needed. All of this will remain completely confidential with the exception of the DNR request. If you do decide to request a DNR, that will be on a list by the defibrillator that's out in the hallway. In the closet, yeah. So it won't be a widely dispersed list, but it will be available. So whoever is, taking that emergency lead can grab that list and, how to figure out how to proceed from there. So there are 2 different ways that you can fill out the form. You can either do a paper copy or you can fill it out online. There's a QR code that you can scan to get to the online one, or you can put in the URL, but the URL has a whole bunch of random numbers in it and letters in it, so it would be very hard to type it in, but you're welcome to do that if you feel so inclined. And the second form that we have is, oh, hello. Woke up. The second one is what we're referring to as the caring helper form. So this one is a form that you can indicate how you would like to, if you would like to help out the caring team. So you can check which options you're willing to volunteer for. So you can do things like writing a card or preparing a meal, or not preparing the meal and just driving the meal to someone, providing rides to and from service, things like that. And then also on that form is an option where you can volunteer to be a buddy for new people. So in this role, you are responsible for taking new people under your wing, introducing them to other people within the congregation, talking to them about activities and opportunities within the congregation, and just sort of being their go-to person to help them find their way while they're new here. Again, that also has 2 different options of ways that you can fill it out. You can either fill it out online or do the physical copy. We do encourage you to try, if you can, to do the online form, because if you fill out the physical copy, that means someone, probably one of us, will have to transcribe that information into the online form anyway. So
we would take a volunteer if somebody wanted to have that little role of transferring forms.
Oh yes, yes.
That, we would be very
yes.
It's a very easy design.
Yeah, it's a very easy form. And so we are also going to be passing out some QR codes at the picnic later for this caring helper form. If you're not familiar with what a QR code is, you just take your phone, take your camera app, hover it over the QR code, a link should pop up, click on that link, and it'll take you to the form. But again, if you want to fill out the physical one, you can. We have pencils and paper, so you're welcome to do that. Oh yes, and if you need help, please reach out or approach one of us afterwards or after any service, and we're happy to help you fill it out if you need some help with that as well. So that's that. Thank you.
Thank you. And now please rise in body or spirit as we will sing our final blessing. Then I will give a benediction. And then we have a special musical treat. James and his father, James, have some fabulous music. So it can be as you walk out or if you want to sit back down and enjoy the music. I know you're probably a little hungry, so whatever you choose to do is perfect. But for now, let's sing Travel Light.
And remember
is short, and we do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who travel with us. So be swift to love and make haste to be kind. Go in peace and let there be music.
Hi there. No. Dedication to my father. Yeah, Yeah, see again, they took that intro and they put it down into E. Let's go eat. What is free here? Dude, if I would have known. Thank you.